Welcome, everyone, to this latest edition of 5 Round MMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside is my co-host, Albert Cita. We missed you all so much last week. Hopefully, you guys missed us just the same. Albert and I we're busy on a different side project, totally unrelated to mixed martial arts.
And I also got my second shot the day that we were busy the weekend that we normally record, doing our side project. And then we were supposed to record Monday, but that's the day I took my second vaccine shot.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
And man, I was just fatigued. I was just tired. Like I guess I got lucky. I didn't get no flu or any weird symptoms. But I was so tired, bro. Like it felt like I ran a marathon, and I just wanted to lay there.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And that's exactly what happened. We didn't do the podcast.
So what's it feel like being fully chipped by the U.S. government? Do you feel any more like a sheep?
No, I mean I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone, so I figured it's like the same thing. I don't know why they're going to all these extra levels to track me. We tracking me already on my iPhone. What I got to do it in my bloodstream?
You willingly let Apple track you for how many years now? What's the U.S. government, right?
They know what I like on Instagram, so they know me. They probably know me better than I know myself.
Just for the record, Albert and I both believe in science.
Yeah. We joke around, but I heavily believe in science.
Yeah, good on you for getting that vaccine.
Yeah,
and being one
if
of the
Bill
many.
Gates becomes a billionaire all over again, that's fine with me.
Yeah, so hopefully, I know Johnson & Johnson's got approved by the FDA to roll out. That one's on the 60% efficacy, which is a lot higher, actually. If you go and look and see what the flu shots efficacy is, it's like super low. So even though we're getting Pfizer and Moderna at 90% and then Johnson & Johnson at like 60%, that's still pretty good, like really good, actually. So, but obviously, any talk about vaccines turn political. We're not here about that.
So we should probably make a left.
We should probably make a hard left and talk about WandaVision. Are you up to speed with the Marvel Disney Plus television show?
I'm all up to speed, but sadly, I'm getting a little bit discouraged. I had a lot of hopes for this multiverse. Maybe it's still gonna happen. But it's starting to seem like they're going a different route.
Yeah, definitely. I think that people got their hopes up with the other Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to bring the Fox X-Men into the multiverse thing. They just ditched that after one episode. Haven't really acknowledged it since. I think this latest episode was a throwaway episode. So far, there's been 2 really throwaway episodes in this season, which I think, like, what's the point? They don't really have an episode obligation.
When you have such short series,
I don't think it should
every episode counts.
Yeah, and to me, there's 2 throwaway episodes already. Maybe even like 2.5, actually, I think. Where you could even like just chop it up and like all the important stuff that happens, which is just in the last 5 minutes of every episode, you could probably just edit that together to make one like a movie. So you get like a WandaVision movie. But hey, this is Disney. This is Disney and Marvel's plan to have these. I think Kevin Feige said that moving forward, there might be a season 2 for some series. Some series might lead into a movie, which I think WandaVision is going to lead into a Doctor Strange movie. Some movies might lead into a series, and then like back and forth like the circle. So if you're a Marvel fan, get used to going to the movie theater, then going back home to watch Disney Plus, and then back and forth. So
I like it out. Go ahead, distract me.
I mean, it's no different from comic books, right? Because you will go every week or a monthly issue to find the comic books, and you read whatever issue was out at the time. So this formula is not really different from those who read comic books like you and I growing up.
I was actually just a perfect example of what's going on right now. Power Ranger has 2 comic books going out at the same time that kind of relate to each other, and I have to get both comics so I can get the full story. Those bastards.
Yeah.
And it's funny because one's called Mighty Morphin and the other one's called Power Rangers. It's beautiful. It's beautiful marketing.
Yeah.
I ate it up. But it's pretty much the same thing. You're going back. You need to get the whole picture. You just gotta go back and forth.
Which is comic book fans are not. They're not stranger to that.
And I think that's why Shields actually failed. I think Shields was trying to do that.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it. They didn't have a clear way that they were gonna bounce off of when the movies were coming out.
Yeah, it seemed a little too. You could tell it was like a television show. Like sometimes they cut corners on the production, and it seemed kind of a little formulaic. Which I think now that I read that somewhere like every episode of like WandaVision is like $20 million. So it's like a little movie in itself, and the production value is amazing.
You could thank Game of Thrones for that.
Yeah,
up the
production value.
Yeah,
if you're gonna do it right.
That's why I like.
So let's go back now. We'll focus on today's show. We got 5 rounds of discussion here, mixed martial arts and professional wrestling. I want to thank you all again for tuning in, whether it be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we're available. Or if you're watching the video feed on YouTube. So I thank you all for taking the time to listen to us this week. This week, a lot to talk about. The WWE's Wrestlemania plans are starting to take shape, or some of the matches are starting to be announced here, so we kind of get a good idea on what's going to happen the 2 nights of Wrestlemania this year. We're going to talk about a lot of the landscaping change in the UFC's heavyweight division. We had two weekends with heavyweight main events. Kind of see where everyone's going out now that we have Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou announced for later this spring. We're going to talk about AEW's Revolution. We're going to preview UFC 259. And also, we're going to talk about all these former MMA guys dabbling in the world of boxing now, and there's for the entertainment value of it. So we'll talk about that as well, too. So we got a lot to talk about this week. But let's get started with round number 1, shall we? Let me start this timer here. Timer started. So Elimination Chamber happened last week. We couldn't talk about it because we took the week off, or a couple weeks ago. Whenever. I'm lost on time right now. For the SmackDown, what happened? Daniel Bryan won.
And then
challenged Roman Reigns that same night, right after.
Literally as the Elimination Chamber ended.
That was a stipulation. Roman Reigns
faced Roman Reigns.
Big dog, as he should have, won. But then Edge came out and speared Roman Reigns, indicating that, pointing to the sign. So it's going to be Edge versus Roman Reigns for now at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a Fastlane pay-per-view in the next couple weeks with, I think it's Roman Reigns, Edge. I'll look it up, too. A couple other people. But also on the Raw side of things, it was who won the Raw? Drew McIntyre won.
Drew McIntyre.
Miz cashed in his Money in the Bank. Defeated Drew McIntyre.
Because Drew McIntyre put his belt up on the line,
and he won. Miz cashed in the Money in the Bank, and he defeated Drew McIntyre. So Miz is now the WWE champion. But this Monday, which when this episode comes out, it's going to be already past. Bobby Lashley's going to challenge Miz. So as of this recording, we don't know if Miz is still champion or not. But as of right now, he's still champion. Albert, make sense of this title picture. And just real quick reactions to the Elimination Chamber kind of fallout.
None of it makes sense.
Yes.
But I will give, going back to Elimination Chamber real quick, I will give kudos to the storytelling aspect of it. Keeps Roman Reigns a strong heel the way they played it out. Mm-hmm. And if you watched it, it started off with Daniel Bryan putting Roman Reigns in the yes lock and almost happening. I thought it played out really good.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I thought they were just gonna bury Daniel Bryan, but
yeah.
I think they did it well. But as far as Fastlane, I mean, I think the problem is they have a short period of time to set everything up when, like we've been saying it's something they should have planned months before.
They don't have a short period of time. Royal Rumble's in January. WrestleMania's in April. I hate these throwaway pay-per-views in the middle.
But you have 2 championships, so you can the January one should already be played out as far as, look, we're going to lead up to this guy winning it, right? Yeah. Who then is going to challenge for the belt. So you have 3 months to do the feud there. But the other one, you should already have it established, no?
Well, for some reason, Edge won, and then all of a sudden they teased who he's going to pick.
And so if you read the dirt sheets, it keeps saying that Bobby Lashley is supposed to put himself into this championship. So it's almost like the Miz was is a transitional champion, which makes no sense to me. I mean, I get that they wanted to get the Money in the Bank off of Otis, which I think is dumb too.
Yeah.
But there's different ways you could win the route of, if you want Bobby Lashley to be in WrestleMania.
Then why not just have McIntyre keep the title until WrestleMania and just have Bobby Lashley challenge him?
And the only thing I could think of, well, again, this is just my wishful thinking, is Bobby Lashley wins it, Brock Lesnar comes back, and we finally get Bobby versus Brock Lesnar
at WrestleMania with like a week of build-up. Also, people kind of are harking on, kind of crying foul on the Miz winning the championship because it looks like it might be a short title run. Who knows? It might not be. But again, you have that Bad Bunny feud. I hate to say it. If you're gonna ask the Miz, do you want a championship match with Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley, or do you want to be featured with one of the biggest pop stars in the world right now? What would you want to do?
I think you want to go with the biggest pop stars,
Yeah,
especially
right?
if you're the Miz. You're about the clout, right? And what has the biggest clout right now?
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, and man, I think Bad Bunny could have slapped them a little bit better.
Yeah. Also, too, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. I think that was officially now.
Yeah, that's technically that is
the
the
only
match in WrestleMania scheduled right now.
Okay. It seems like the Royal Rumble is like a throwaway pay-per-view now because it meant nothing. Especially it took so long for Edge to challenge. It just meant like I like the long-term storytelling and maybe I like a more linear path in my storytelling as opposed to going back and then going forth and then all of a sudden like, hey, Bobby Lashley, who had nothing to do in the Royal Rumble, all of a sudden now he's the champion. He's going to challenge for the WrestleMania. Going to challenge for the championship at WrestleMania with like 3 weeks left to build it up. But that's WWE storytelling nowadays. But who knows? It's not honestly until that Saturday and Sunday, we won't know what the WrestleMania card is because plans always change for some reason. You would think that it's the biggest story arc of the year. They would have these plans in place a lot longer. But we'll see. I hate talking about this because like everything we say is going to be out of wash now because who knows what's going to happen on Raw this week.
And literally, like it's like I would not be surprised if they have a week and they're still like swapping out that main event slot.
Yeah,
this is pandemic, bro. It's pandemic.
It's not the pandemic. This has been long.
Oh, okay.
Long before the pandemic. That's it for round number one. We're gonna come back and switch gears, talk about UFC heavyweight division landscape. Has some pretty big time matchups these past couple weeks. We're gonna kind of get all caught up to date with what's happening in that division. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number two. Let's talk about the UFC's heavyweight division. These past couple weeks, we've had 2 main event heavyweight bouts for UFC Fight Nights. First one was Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades, and then the last one was Rosenstruck versus Kane. I believe I pronounce his name is Frenchman, but I think it's Kane.
I thought I kept calling him Gain.
Gain,
but I'm not French.
Yeah, Gain. Yeah, we'll go with Gain. The first bout, Derek Lewis knocks out Curtis Blades. He almost murdered the guy. It looked like.
Can we call him like the comeback king now, or
who? Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis. I mean. That guy, I think I kept seeing like these funny memes saying like Derek Lewis, the only man, or I think he had a quote saying like, I'll just lay there until they pick us up.
Yeah, so Derek Lewis now wins. Gain wins. I think Gain is like, what now, 8-0, 9-0?
8-0 with his last fight he won, and his other big win is against Junior Dos Santos back in 2020.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think a decision win over Rosenstruck is worth less.
Especially because of what Ngannou did to him.
And especially of what Derek Lewis just did the week before to Curtis Blades. It's the heavyweight division. You got to knock guys out. You got to be spectacular. Decision wins aren't going to do much for you in terms of excitement. He's undefeated still. I think he called for a Gain call out for a title shot afterwards. He's not there yet. Nowhere close. I still think you got Derek Lewis, you got Volkov, and you got John Jones waiting in the wings.
And again, because this is the heavyweight division and he didn't have a spectacular finish like Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
I think he, like you said, he needs, honestly, Curtis Blades is still in it.
Yeah.
Despite that horrible loss he took. So to me, it only makes sense that Curtis Blades still in it. He gets a Gain.
I like it.
And I think Derek Lewis, literally, unless something really good comes up, he plays the waiting game. How is he not the next one up after John Jones and what? I mean, let's say Stipe and Ngannou go at it. Despite how it happens, Derek Lewis can possibly get the loser, set himself up against whoever wins against John Bone Jones against the winner at that time.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm saying Derek Lewis has all the cards in his hands, I think. And right now his best option is to wait it out until Stipe and Ngannou get it on.
Which is going to be later this spring, couple months, right? I think people might not want to hear it, but John Jones is getting the title shot.
Oh yeah, no.
His first fight in
Yeah.
the heavyweight division is going to be for the title, right?
Yeah.
There's no warm up fight. Like why, if in the UFC, why even do that?
I will say this though: if John Jones challenges Derek Lewis, to have a fight before he
For the title?
to the title. I hate John Jones. I would give him more respect though. I would. It'd be hard for me to bash John Jones at all.
Straight up challenges Derek Lewis.
Yeah, because the respect, bro. Like he knows he doesn't have to do it.
Yeah.
2, it's a risky thing to even be in there in the heavyweight division. And 3, you're going against a guy that is on a tear. So I'm saying like it's super hard, I think, for any fan to hate on John Jones if he does go that route. But then again,
business side of the UFC.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. You pretty much have a guaranteed title shot.
Right. You could justify it. John Jones is arguably the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Moves up willingly to heavyweight division. How do you not give him a title shot right? You put him in the spotlight. This dude was sponsored by Gatorade. Dude was sponsored by Nike. Yeah, he's had a ton of outside controversies, but the UFC stuck with their guns, stuck with him throughout all. Of course, they're gonna give him a title shot. They're not gonna have that wasted for a fight night or main event of a non-title match against Derek Lewis or Curtis Blades,
especially if you're charging $70 for a pay-per-view. I feel like you gotta give me $70 worth of pay-per-view.
And John Jones in a title shot.
Jones in a heavyweight title match is $70. You don't even have to tell me the undercard. You don't gotta tell me who's in the main card.
Yeah.
Just literally tell me John Jones versus Stipe or John Jones versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying $70.
Isn't it kind of crazy? To me, I think I just blinked, and all of a sudden the heavyweight division is pretty stacked, right? Did you not just blink, and all of a sudden, okay, you got...
I wouldn't say stack as much as now we have
it's like
competitors.
Derek Lewis.
You know what I'm saying?
Rosenstruck before that was really good. You got Gani now. Volkov, bro. Volkov, nobody's talking about. He destroyed Alistair Overeem's face. He butchered that poor man's face. He's out there too. He's almost a near 7-foot heavyweight dude. So like, there's some dangerous dudes out there. It took a while to get there, but now I think we're back at it again, where it's exciting. And then you throw John Jones in the mix, super controversial John Jones.
Literally, if you go from 10 and up and you take out Alistair Overeem out, you got competitors.
Well, and Junior Dos Santos too. Yeah. Well, he's what number?
Well, Junior just 12.
Oh,
that's what I said. 10 and up.
Yeah.
Take Alistair Overeem out because come on now. I think he. I think
it proved
the steam's over.
When he fought
but
last
all
time.
these other guys are on their way up, and then technically all those guys can mix and match, and we can still get another contender out of there.
Yeah, I think it also took a while post USADA to get the heavyweight division back up again, because you notice how
it got a little bit flabby,
it got a little softer, right? It kind of get them some time to redevelop on that, Glenn. So whenever the heavyweight division is good, it's good for the sport.
Yeah.
So it's the most exciting division in combat sports, in boxing, in MMA, because people know there's a good chance someone's gonna get knocked out when these big dudes are hitting each other. So keep an eye out, man. It's gonna be fun, especially with that title shot coming up just around the corner. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou, and then I think John Jones after Saturday's main event between Rosenstruck and Gagne or Gain, he said, I think he said somewhere like these big boys better be ready to pick up the pace when I come in, also when Daddy comes home or something like that. And then Francis Ngannou responded, "When Daddy comes home?" ? And laughing. So it's already smack talk already, bro. John Jones bringing that controversy, bringing that fire.
Francis,
I like it.
I hope you win.
That's it for round number 2. We're going to come back and talk about these thriller, weird, mixed mashups of very old guys boxing each other now for our entertainment. So don't go anywhere. Let's come up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Time for round number 3. So it was announced late last week, Frank Mir, former UFC heavyweight champion, known as the greatest, jiu-jitsu heavyweight of all time, or kind of close with Nogueira, right?
Yeah.
Known for his ground game more than his stand-up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the person that has the biggest ground game highlights in the heavyweight division,
Frank Mir. Yeah.
And technically he beat Big Nog, and so technically I think he owns the title.
He broke his arm, man.
Yeah.
He snapped his arm. If you get fans, look at that. Kimura, he snapped Big Nog's arm. So Frank Mir has been commentary. He has a podcast, I believe, as well. But it was announced that he's going to be boxing former champion Antonio Tarver. Is that correct?
That's what it's being reported.
Reported by ESPN and all media outlets. It's going to be on that.
Keep in mind, we just started the round saying Frank Mir is known for his jiu-jitsu.
So this is going to take place on the Triller card. I called it Thriller before. It's actually Triller, so I apologize about that.
With April 17th date of now.
And this is the same card as the Jake Paul Ben Askren card. So
Correct.
This is going to serve as an undercard. Triller is known as a social media company, whatever that means. But they're the ones who put on the Roy Jones and Mike Tyson bout, right?
Yeah.
Now they're returning back with Ben Askren versus Jake Paul, but they also announced Antonio Tarver versus Frank Mir. Antonio Tarver, what was his boxing record? I know him most for being Mason Dixon in the Rocky Balboa movie, but
Line Dixon
for boxing fans out there, or for non-boxing fans out there, kind of fresh us up on it.
So he's 31-6. His last fight was in 2015, where it was a draw to Steve Cunningham.
Okay.
But previous to that, he was actually in a little win streak after losing back-to-back losses to Chad Dawson. And Chad Dawson, this was, I guess, the era where I think boxing went kind of dark, and they weren't at the best as far as fighters. Mm-hmm. Because this is when Canelo's coming up. And, so when he was around, I don't think you had these named fighters. That's why some of his highlights are Royce Jones Jr., Glenn Johnson, and then Bernard Hopkins actually beat him.
That?
Bernard Hopkins beat him in 2006.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this kind of era was a little bit muddly.
But you watch boxing more than I do.
Yeah.
This isn't really a safe bet for Frank Mir, right?
No,
Antonio Tarver's a world-class boxer.
Dude, it upsets me because the last thing I want is the guys that only watch boxing but don't watch MMA to be like, see, MMA straight trash. Well, yeah, man, you put a jiu-jitsu guy up against a freaking world champion boxer.
Yeah.
Like, what did you expect was going to happen?
And I think, yesterday we were talking about it a little bit. It would make more sense to me if it was Junior Dos Santos. Because even though Junior Dos Santos is technically like a jiu-jitsu guy too, but he's known more. Yeah, he knows more for his hands, and I think he would have had a better, I guess, showing
than Frank Mir. Then again, you never know. Maybe Frank Mir, unbeknownst to us, has taken up boxing for the last 6 years and is able to bring in the gap a little bit. I don't know.
So I think,
logic tells me, Antonio Tarver is going to have a walk in the park.
Even though he's about 11 years older than Mir. I think he's 52. Mir's 41, if my math's correct.
I mean, do you not remember a guy named George Foreman making his comeback?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's the whole reason George Foreman even made a comeback. He saw the heavyweight division, was like, dude, I can, like, beat these guys.
Yeah.
Like, they're nowhere near the caliber when I was in my prime. And that's exactly what he did. He came back and then he became the oldest heavyweight champion.
So we got a minute left. I know this is kind of a loaded question, but is this the future for a lot of former MMA guys? Because we're entering that realm now where
I think
it's either
so.
this or bare knuckle. I mean, I'd rather have them do this than bare knuckle boxing, to tell you the truth.
With everything I just said, I like it. I like it.
You're gonna be watching it.
Look, at the end of the day, like, fantasy football, fantasy this, fantasy that is very popular. But now we can make some of these reality. Like, even though I think this is a horrible matchup and I wish it was somebody else, I want to watch Frank Mir versus Antonio Tarver. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, it excites me.
It's kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm trying to think now of other former champ. Do you see Anderson Silva doing this maybe? Because Anderson Silva versus Roy Jones Jr. They always wanted to have that.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. We can finally have Roy Jones Jr. versus Anderson Silva. And here's the thing too about this whole thing. When we were going to get to the Tyson versus Jones fight, I think a lot of people were going to say, like, wow, this is going to be an exhibition. You're going to see two old guys that are not even close to their prime. They look really good. Okay, yeah, I get it. I'm not a boxing savant. I'm not some purist, whatever. But to me, it was entertaining, and they were throwing punches. Like, it looked like a very competitive fight. Someone that didn't never watch boxing saw that. You would never know these guys were retired for so long. And with that said, I think Roy Jones Jr. versus Anderson Silva makes sense. Anderson Silva has stayed active. Yeah, he's been in the bad side of some of the fights, But I mean, he's still active. Roy Jones Jr. looked really good against Mike Tyson. I think that's doable.
Hey,
and I want to see it.
Make it happen.
And I'll pay for it. Triller.
Make it happen, Triller, whoever's in charge over there. That's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and come back and enter the championship rounds. We got 2 stacked cards coming up. One for professional wrestling and one for MMA. UFC 259, man. That's a stacked card. We're going to come and preview that next, so don't go anywhere.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. Let's enter the championship rounds now. Round number 4, UFC 259 this Saturday, March 6th at the UFC Apex Center, Las Vegas, Nevada, only on pay-per-view or ESPN Plus. We have to pay for it anyways. 3 title fights?
Yeah.
Main event.
3 big title fights.
Main event, UFC Light Heavyweight Championship on the line. Jan Blachowicz, the nice guy, Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. Megan Anderson versus Amanda Nunes for the women's featherweight championship. Yes.
Yep.
And then we have the bantamweight championship. Peter Yan, champion, finally taking on Aljamain Sterling, who's a rightful contender in this division. Now some sprinkled some names on that card as well too. But Albert, let's start with the main event. Adesanya, Buckmaster, Jan Blachowicz. It looks like the UFC really wants Adesanya to win this belt, right?
I really want Adesanya to win this belt.
Timer started too, by the way. Sorry.
But man, it's been a heartbreak of the things I want these couple of last years.
Oh man, I'm so sorry for Albert.
Yeah. And
life is so hard for Albert. Huh?
I'm just saying because John can play the ultimate spoiler.
He can. He has the ability to.
And at the same time, it's not, because if he can knock out Izzy, I mean, John Jones has to go back and get his title, right?
I think so. Well, it's marketable.
I mean, either way, I think he has to go back and get his title. But
Jan's last loss was to who?
The guy that's on the card. I think Thiago Santos.
Thiago Santos?
Yep, was his last, and it was a TKO loss back in 2019.
Okay.
This before, that was literally his last loss, and then he went on a tear with Luke Rockhold, what do you call it, Jacare, and then he went and faced Corey Anderson and Dominic Reyes, of course.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird? Everyone pretty much counted Luke Rockhold out after that loss. Like, dude, you're blah, blah, blah. I mean, technically he lost against a pretty impressive guy.
Yeah, the champion now, right?
Yeah, so
I like Albert always finds a way to give Luke Rockhold of the way out, bro.
Don't write off Luke Rockhold. And Luke Rockhold did pretty good before he got caught. He did pretty good before he got caught.
He always on that Luke Rockhold bandwagon.
And again, I don't know if I'm trying to knock John off for a little bit or whatever, but he had a split decision loss to Jacare. Jacare just got murdered in his own weight class just recently.
Yeah, but Holland, right? Kevin Holland?
Yeah, Kevin Holland. And so, okay. And Dominic Reyes, I think he'll admit it. I think he went in there thinking this. He was already thinking John Jones.
I think so too.
Right?
I think so.
I know it sounds kind of like I'm trying to knock John down, but I'm saying there's a lot of situations in there that makes me believe that Izzy has a better chance than what people think.
He was on that card where Santos versus John Jones, Jan Blachowicz, was that Luke Rockhold fight, and yeah. I was there for that media day, and every fighter has their own little station, and media goes talk to him, and Jan Blachowicz was by himself for the longest time. Granted, that card also had Amanda Nunes on it, so it was a star-studded card. But,
the irony now, though, because now she's the
but Blachowicz was by himself. Wasn't really much, So I got to talk to him. Super nice dude. He predicted I'm gonna knock out Rockhold clean. So I always have a soft spot for him because he was really gracious with his time and nobody else has wanted to talk to him. But now he's champion. Good for him, dude. What can we say about Izzy that has been said already?
Exactly. I mean,
this dude,
amazing champion. Amazing. I mean, what?
Charismatic,
yeah,
everything you want in a combat sports athlete, right?
He literally went to Murder's Gauntlet on his way to getting the title. He literally, I mean, there's no disputing his reign. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Derek Brunson, Anderson Silva, and Kevin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, and then Paulo Costa. I mean, that's murder's row, homie.
Yeah.
And he went through that, and then on top of that, you would think
easy.
you would think he can kind of like take in his little championship win.
Just drink it in, man.
And then boom, he goes up, and then he's gonna face John. So I mean, like, this kid is on fire. This is what I try to tell people when they keep telling me to quit hating on John Jones. It's not that I don't think John Jones is a great fighter, that he's one of the best we have ever seen. I mean, I think you're stupid if you can't admit that. But it's the fact that, you know, some of his competition at he kind of did the Mayweather part where it's like way here, blah, back and forth, and then the fact that he's been suspended. Is he just like been on a tear, bro? Like this guy's on green and he's not stopping.
Yeah.
So I pretty much I want Izzy to win a lot. You know, I have a lot invested in Izzy right now.
We'll talk about what's next because the outcome. There's a lot of possibilities as a result of this matchup, but we'll talk about that next week when we know who the winner is. Co-main event, women's mixed martial arts, GOAT, Amanda Nunes, Megan Anderson. This not a run back, is it? Or Megan Anderson, did she lose to Cyborg, or I kind of felt this fight was announced before, or what?
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a
Megan
announced
Anderson,
bout.
what was her record?
Well, Megan Anderson, she was supposed to, Megan Anderson was going to get in there, make a splash, but then she lost to Holly Holm.
That's what it was.
And then she lost to Felicia Spencer,
Okay.
rear naked choke. So pretty much that kind of stopped her big thing. But she was it. I mean, when she
was an Invicta champion.
She was destroying an Invicta and came to UFC, and all she had to do was beat Holly Holmes, and she was going to contest, and Holly Holm played spoiler and didn't get it. But
Nunes hopefully continues what she's doing, man. She's a dual champion. People forget she's a bantamweight and featherweight champion. So it's gonna be hard for somebody to knock her off both of those.
I got Megan
thrones.
Anderson winning that.
You do?
I got Megan Anderson winning that.
I think it'd be better for the UFC if she did win. That way you have two distinct champions, and it would be also easier for Amanda Nunes. That way she just focus on one belt. I think she said she likes 145 better because it's obviously less of a weight cut for her.
Yeah.
But, I mean, who knows? I mean, I think a lot of people have counted out Nunes in the past, especially when she always comes back and just improves why she is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, women's mixed martial arts of all time. The final title fight of this card, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. A bantamweight division, super solid, not the sexiest, with Peter Yan on there, but Aljamain Sterling does have some swag to him, so
a lot of swag.
Rightful #1 contender. Hopefully, he can pull off the win there, get some swag back in that bantamweight division. Any other fights you want to talk about?
I mean, I
how about the disrespected Dominic Cruz?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I get why they put, you know.
Well, Drew Dober is definitely
no, but they're trying to push Islam in there, and Teo Santos,
former
I guess it makes sense. Not only is he a former title contender, but the last guy to beat the guy that's headlining the card. I think you always kind of want to, you know, throw little jabs in there, and I think that's what it was. But no way does. I mean, I'm not even a Dominic Cruz fan.
I'm a Dominic Cruz fan.
But the disrespect on Dominic like that. He's headlining the prelims.
Go to the prelims card real quick. I know we're running long on this one. Sorry, guys, but there's a lot to talk about. But at the end of the day, I always say there's going to be more eyes on the prelims.
Just because it's free.
Then there's a pay-per-view. So at the end of the day, it's not that bad. Dominic Cruz versus Casey Kenny.
Which I think it's a really good matchup.
I think
it's
for both guys, it's a
yeah.
good matchup.
I always like when they do these type of matchups where like technically one guy is trying to get over, but the other guy's saying stay on top. Because literally, Dominic Cruz hasn't had, I guess, what you want to call like
he's in a good run.
Yeah, like but he's only faced the top, like literally the top. He's finally, I guess, I don't want to say giving him a break, but he's finally facing an unranked fighter. When Dominic Cruz, like, he comes back, top contender, top contender,
one or two guys in the division.
Yeah, right? So it's kind of nice to see him be put in a position where, like, you know, it doesn't have to be
it's almost like, are you still
a title eliminator?
You still got it, Dominic Cruz?
Yeah,
do you still have it or not? Also, Joseph Benavidez is on this card as well, trying to bounce back.
Again, a guy, I get it. Joseph Benavidez got destroyed in his last championship run, but he has a number 2 next to his name, and you're gonna put him in the prelims. I think you need to swap that. Teo Santos is coming off 2 losses. Come on now, that's disrespectful, man. Yeah. And he's not even they got him listed 3rd in
the prelims.
Come on,
but it's free. It's free television. Benavidez and Dominic Cruz will be on free TV as opposed to paying $70 or somebody trying to fund the live stream to find him. So
be careful, Dana's gonna find you.
That's not me. I'll gladly pay. That's it for round number 4. UFC 259 this Saturday, March 6th. UFC Apex Center in Las Vegas, Nevada will play host, and you could stream the pay-per-view exclusively on ESPN Plus if you pay $60, $70.
A lot of money.
But
at least this one's worth it. They try to fool you a couple of times for that $7. No, UFC, I'm not paid. I'm not paid.
Definitely worth it.
This one is worth it.
We got one more round coming up. It's a big one. We're going to preview AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Got some pretty good matchups on this one, so don't go anywhere. It's the 5th and final round coming up next.
5-round MMA.
Welcome back. 5th and final round. AEW Revolution will take place this Sunday, March 7th, live on pay-per-view. They have different streaming platforms. You can be on Fight TV. You can buy it directly from your pay-per-view provider. Other options, right? Bleacher Report or BleacherReport.com, you can watch it too, or
I use Bleacher Report when I order my wrestling pay-per-views. I don't know why.
So I think if you know AEW, you should know how you get your pay-per-views. It's not like they don't have a network or anything like that, but various outlets to provide for you this pay-per-view event. This is going to be a pretty stacked card, I think so. We got the AEW's women's champion, Hikaru Shida, who's going to challenge the winner, who's going to be challenged by the winner of the tournament, correct? Albert,
yeah, which we'll find out
on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll find out on March 3rd. Right now, still in the tournament is Thunder Rosa, Rio, Nyla Rose, Yuka, and Rio on the Japanese side, which is funny because they have Japanese stars on the U.S. bracket, but I guess it just means those are taking place in U.S. soil.
Okay.
And the other ones are taking place overseas.
I think just for convenience wise, it's gonna be Thunder Rosa, right?
Yeah, I mean
she's already in the United States and she's been in Florida.
Yeah. In the final, you have to have one of these Japanese ones face the other one. So I don't know.
I mean to challenge Shida. I think it's gonna be Thunder Rosa.
To me, the smart thing to do was to actually have Britt Baker win it all. But now that she's out, I think it's Thunder Rosa.
I think so too. So also on the card, Miro, the former Rusev, and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. This is a culmination of Chuck Taylor being his own personal butler, right?
Yeah, his young boy.
What happened to Trent?
Trent has been hurt.
Okay.
I think that's why he hasn't been shown. I don't know the extent of his injuries. I didn't really look up when it happened, but he's been hurt, and so good thing it's a trio.
Yeah.
So Orange Cassidy, who is one of their needle movers, I guess you can say.
Yeah. So obviously Trent and Chuck Taylor were the tag team best friends, but they took in Orange Cassidy, so now it's a trio. You kind of interplace the 3, so it kind of makes sense that Miro and Kip Sabian will go against them too. Mm-hmm. Real quick too, before topic, Miro, is you like how he's being booked in AEW so far? Kind of low on the card, I think, in this storyline.
Yeah, I think they're going the long route with him.
Sure.
Just because I feel
whenever Cody feels right.
I just think he didn't have enough. Since he depended a lot on Lana to do all the talking and whatever. I feel like maybe they're just trying to let him find his character by himself before they can add him into the main roster, I guess you could say. Because I do feel like there's a lot of good matchups in the top half of AEW for Miro, but I feel like they want to, I guess, let him find his own voice on his own terms. That's the feeling I get, because you can easily, I think, just put a manager with Miro and he's the top guy.
Mm-hmm. But you kind of want him to develop his own.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think Miro, if you watch his YouTube channel in Twitch and whatever, he is a funny guy. He does have a really good personality, and I think they're just trying. In my belief, I think they're just trying to let him figure it out.
Yeah, but you can't
wait too long though.
But also too, we were hearing a podcast with Don Callis.
Yep.
You can't be entertaining as a heel, right?
No, it's very hard.
If you're entertaining as a heel, people start to like you because you're entertaining. you're no longer a heel.
Exactly.
So that's a very fine line that
yeah.
only a few people have ever had to, have ever walked that line. So next match, what's a big money match, and why is Matt Hardy taking on Hangman Adam Page in it?
So the winner receives the loser's 2020 first quarter earnings.
Okay. Okay.
So pretty much, a winner gets your paycheck.
Okay. Which is kind of similar to doing in MMA, where if a fighter loses or doesn't make weight, then they get their purse. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something like that. And Matt Hardy switching up his gimmick again, going back to the well, and now using his big money Matt gimmick. He's been signing and making deals with everybody on AEW.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Okay.
Yeah, so he got the oh my gosh, I can't think of the private party. He signed the private party to his management group.
Got it. I like it.
He was trying to sign Adam Page. Adam Page refused. So that's why this came up.
I like it.
I just like this because I feel like, again, I think they're playing the long run with Adam Page. He's a young guy. I think at one point he is going to be the face of AEW. Man, we're not even close to finishing.
Nope,
and I'm hearing the final. He's 29 years old, and I really do think he's going to be the staple of AEW. But I think he needs to have these type of matches to really. Adam Page is over, but I think facing Matt Hardy just establishes it even better.
You got to think of like the best of Adam Page DVD down the line, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to add those matches on there, and this is what
exactly.
What's good? I mean, long booking, for sure. They can have some other guys on top than the guys who are currently on top right now. But at the end of the day, hopefully Adam Page is the future of this company. Face the Revolution ladder match. Cody, blah, Scorpio Sky, Penta Zero Miedo.
Penta
It changes his name now, right?
Pentagon Junior,
Pentagon Dark,
Pentagon
Junior, and Lance Archer,
and then Preston number 10, and then Max Caster, and then we still have one more person that needs to make the ladder match.
So this is basically their Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's for the TNT, which this
winner gets a shot at the TNT.
Yeah, which this is the thing I like, because the ladder match, having it for the title, kind of waters it down for Royal Rumble. Like, that's what Royal Rumble's for. That's how you earn a title shot. It's normally, if you never had a shot at the title, this is the way you get it.
Yeah.
And ladder match, I think the Money in the Bank always kind of, I don't know, it kind of watered down the Royal Rumble to me. And I prefer it this way, where it's like, it's for the secondary belt, and it's like, back in the day, the IC belt was known for the best wrestler.
Yeah.
And it meant something. So I think that's the route they're taking, and I like that mindset better.
Yeah. Again, I like the secondary belt, but could you imagine if WWE announced a USA Network Championship belt?
Well, you would have to make the Intercontinental.
But I mean, like, if they announced that, like, the marks would have ate them up, bro. But AEW does a TNT Championship and nobody bats an eye.
It's the greatest thing ever.
The greatest thing ever. It's an AEW pay-per-view, so what does that mean? There's a casino battle royale. This time it's a tag team one. Are there any tag teams announced, or just everybody who's not on the card is going to get this battle royale?
Bear Country, which is a new stable that just got introduced through their AEW Dark, which is Bill Boulder and Barrett Bronson. The Dark Order being represented by Alex Reynolds and John Silver. The Dark Order being represented by Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. The Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz. The Butcher and the Blade, Alex's favorite tag team. The Private Party.
Very sexy.
And then
tight leather.
Butcher
and the Blade.
And then up and coming Top Flight, who had an amazing match with the Young Bucks earlier this year or last year. And then there's still one more team to be announced.
Okay. Is it like a surprise team, you think? Or
I think
Carl Anderson and Machine Gun?
Maybe.
It's Carl Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the same person.
Yeah, same thing. I know what you meant. But maybe.
The Good Brothers?
The Good Brothers.
Somebody from Impact?
Maybe. I don't see that'll be smart if they could do that.
Who else in Impact that can really come to AEW, make an impact?
Make
Sorry
an impact.
for my pun.
The more City Machine Guns, but I think
Alex Shelley's not wrestling right now.
Yeah. But so I think he either has to be the Good Brothers or just another tag from AEW.
Or no, Juice Robinson
Oh,
from,
yeah, you're
New
right.
Japan.
And Finley.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson and Finley. You're right.
I like that. That's what
you're
it is.
right.
Juice Robinson, man.
Woo.
WWE dropped the ball on that one.
Big. I don't think they got him.
It's kind of weird for Triple H to not see something, and obviously I'm thinking maybe he was too focused on somebody else when Juice Robinson was in NXT.
People forget, like, I think he had actual heat because remember he broke Kevin Owens' nose on a match. I think he did like a little uppercut thing.
Yeah.
And he busted his nose. I think that didn't help him.
Yeah, but good for him though, making his name for himself in New Japan. Your boy Sting and Darby Allin, his little mini-me Darby Allin
Mini-me Sting
versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks in a street fight.
I would like to say this is my bathroom break.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it.
Man.
Is this gonna be cinematic or straight match?
I think it's gonna be a straight match. It might have some elements of cinematic. I could see that. But, I mean, it's pretty much like, come on, you're not going to have Sting in an actual wrestling match. Let's keep it real.
Well, he was cleared, and he took a powerbomb a couple weeks ago from
and I'm pretty sure he's taking ice baths leading up to this match.
Okay, tag team, AEW Tag Team Championships. Young Bucks are the champions. Takes on the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho and MJF. Title change here? No title change? Do you want?
I keep going back and forth just because the Young Bucks have a feud with the Good Brothers, kind of ish, might have ish, and maybe they don't need the titles right now to get that thing going. While on the other side, the Inner Circles are having turmoil. What's better to, add more drama to their little thing? If the guys are not supposed to be the tag team champions, or the tag team champions,
and then you have
Ortiz and
like,
exactly.
Hey, we've been a tag team for years.
Yeah, so I feel like the belt switching over to Inner Circle makes more sense story wise, but then again, I mean it's the Young Bucks, bro.
It's their company.
You sell more merch as a champ,
and they're executive directors, whatever they are, right?
EVP.
Yeah. Main event: AEW World Championship. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match. I know, Albert, you love these death matches.
I hate death matches.
But you love Kenny Omega, so
I love
explain your
Kenny
thought
Omega.
process on this, please.
Kenny Omega pretty much is saying, Albert, I can make any match good. That's pretty much what, honestly, that's exactly what I think. I think Kenny is not only is he smarter in the business than a lot of people, I think he's one of the very rare guys that get it. And he knows there's people like me that straight up trash death matches, straight up trash, hardcore, whatever. He knows they're out there. He knows. And I think he's just trying to say, like, not only am I so over with you guys, I'm going to put myself... I'm gonna put myself in a match that I know you guys don't like, because you know why?
That you don't like.
Yeah. Well, I think he's talking to me. I have like this weird link with Kenny, and he's just talking to me. He's saying, "Look, bro, I'm gonna put myself in this trash ass match that I know you don't like.
I'm gonna lower myself to Jon Moxley standards.
Yeah,
is that what he's saying?
Pretty much. And I'm gonna give you a 5-star match."
5-star exploding death.
Yeah, because I can do it all. Put me against a ladder. Put me on a treehouse match. Put me on a gauntlet match. I'm a 5-star man, and that's pretty much what that's all. To me, that's what I see here. I see put me in a shitty, disrespectful match. It called a barbed wire death match, and watch me blow it out of the water.
For those who don't know, a barbed wire match is they take out the ring ropes and they replace them with barbed wire.
Yes.
And to add on to that, they either put like little exploding devices outside of it.
Yeah, when they get slammed on
outside, or I've seen in Japan where
they put
one
inside,
side of the ring ropes is exploding barbed wire. So when they go into that ring, when they get thrown into that side of the barbed wire, it explodes.
Just look up Cactus Jack and you can see a bunch of
death matches were made popular, very popular in Japan. If you want to look up old matches from an organization called FMW, which is Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, they were known for that. A lot of stuff they borrowed and the ECW kind of brought to light in the North American side. So barbed wire matches are not unfamiliar territory to a lot of hardcore fans. You have organizations now like Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW. That's all they do is just death matches. That's like more of the hardcore,
and that's where Jon Moxley comes from, right?
He likes that stuff. That's more like the light bulbs and light tube matches, where it's not exactly the greatest psychology in the world.
I freaking hate those stupid light bulbs, bro. They not only do they just like shatter on impact, that makes it look so cheap. I mean, it gets all over the freaking place, bro.
And
It's all over the talent, all over the ring.
The fans.
The fans get sometimes.
You're not supposed to inhale that stuff either.
Yeah,
So,
it's ridiculous. Put those damn bulbs away, bro.
I'm interested to see how this is the first time I think a major promotion is going to have a barbed wire match.
Yeah.
WWE had aspects of barbed wire with Mick Foley was there as a barbed wire bat, or they'll wrap barbed wire on a little board and have it there. I think TNA had a barbed wire match one time, I think.
I remember TNA doing a lot of stuff with Abyss and barbed wire. So it wouldn't surprise me if they have one.
So obviously thumbtacks, it's like all these weird, weapons.
The thumbtacks, I'm okay with.
But barbed wire,
But
I like the barbed wire, but when you put the exploding part into it, it's like a little over the top.
I get a little bit discouraged.
Again, not everybody's cup of tea.
Even though, remember, Wrestling Society X had a piranha
match. So again, Albert's just showing himself again. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I used to be a mark for it. I do have some of those hardcore Japanese wrestling matches. So maybe I'll share with you, Albert. We can get you back into it.
Nah.
I do have some FMW DVDs. So that's it for this week's show. I know we went super long on the championship rounds, but hey, when the stackness is there, we got to have time to talk about it more. So again, Saturday, UFC 259. Sunday, AEW Revolution.
Woo!
So if you're a wrestling and anime fan,
good thing
you got your plans set.
Good thing I get paid on Friday because I'm about to go broke ordering these goddamn events.
Thank you everybody for tuning in this week. Glad to be back. We missed last week. I'm glad we took just a week break, not a 2 year break, right?
Yeah.
Last time we took a break, we disappeared for 2 years. So good. Make sure you keep up to date with us on social media: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. At 5 Round MMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. Again, you can get our podcast anywhere you get your audio podcast. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon, Podomatic. We're everywhere you get your audio podcast. And we're also on YouTube. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. That way you don't miss anything that we drop here. Visit 5roundmma.com. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Albert, what do you got?
Just Tony Khan, Scott Croker. Invest on a damn website, please.
Yeah.
It's very irritating that we can only find it in social media. I get it. Social media is the thing. But have some respect for yourself and get your website going.
Ditto.
Thanks for tuning in.